Man, this thing's seen better days. So today I'm out in the garage and I'm going to attempt to build a transmission teardown fixture. Actually, it's more of a transmission assembly fixture because what they do is hold the transmission in an upright position so that when you assemble it and you're putting in drums and clutches and planetary gear sets and all of that stuff, it all goes right in if it's oriented so that the transmission's kind of standing on its tail. So these fixtures, you can buy them on Amazon, and they're not very expensive. But most of them say that they're for GM transmissions, and I'm not so sure that they'll work with this Ford. This happens to be a 4R70W, and I want to build a fixture so that I can rebuild these on a teardown bench. So the way that this works is there's some threaded dowels that come into these two holes on either side of the transmission case and basically pinch it. And then the fixture just hangs off the side of your bench, workbench, basically your teardown bench as the case may be, and allows you to stand that thing on its tail so that the guts of the transmission are vertical instead of horizontal. And like I said, these things are all over Amazon. They're not very expensive, but what fun is that? So I've got some square tubing and I've got some dowel rod. And for the bench mounted part of it, what I'm going to do is sacrifice one of my trailer hitch receivers. So this will bolt to the bench and then the fixture will slide into it. And it's kind of a good thing to have because being square, I could always rotate it horizontally as well. So that should work. And I have to sacrifice my really nice class 3 receiver, but I've got a few of these, so I'm willing to do that. So let me start cutting, grinding, and welding. Okay, so that's the basic design. We have our threaded dowel rod here that goes into the index points on the transmission. Most Ford transmissions are similar to this. So this should work on a variety of Ford transmissions, I'm hoping. And then I added this little foot here so that I can adjust the verticalness of it once I get it up on the stand. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to triangulate a little bit here, because I think it's probably fine for this transmission. This 1-inch square tubing is only 16 gauge, but with something like an E40D up there, it might flex a little bit, and I don't want that, so I just ground up these pieces here, and I'm going to triangulate just a little bit. So I'll weld these in, and I'll give it a paint job, and we'll be done. And here's the finished product, or mostly finished anyway. So just gave it a quick coat of black paint, which wasn't absolutely necessary, but I just like to do that. And there's a couple more things I want to do. I want to figure out a convenient length for these, and then I want to chop them off a little shorter, because these are obviously a little bit too long. And then I'll probably slit the end of it and then weld a washer. Just take a big washer and weld in there to give me kind of a thumb screw type thing so I can screw these in. I was actually looking for bolts, but I couldn't find bolts that were threaded all the way up, which I needed. So I ended up getting the dowel rod instead. And let's see, I'll probably add a couple lock nuts that you could butt up against this to keep this from spinning once you get a transmission bolted to it. But it'll work. So it'll do what I want to do, which is just stand a transmission up so I can assemble it. And this part of it will bolt to the top of my bench. Probably just one bolt will do back here in the rear. And it won't hang over my transmission bench that much. So it'll be plenty stable. Thanks for following along. And we'll catch you next time.